Greetings! In this video, we will teach you how to beat red light camera traffic tickets. As you probably already know, there are these cameras going up all over the place, and a bunch of you are starting to get notices in the mail regarding these camera tickets. So here is a sample of what it looks like. If you've ever gotten this in the mail, to a layman, to the average uneducated or uninformed individual who receives this, and by that I mean someone who's uneducated about what we espouse to be the maxims and rules and laws and principles regarding contract law, which is okay, there's nothing wrong about that, but that's the purpose of this information, is to try to bring you up to speed and empower you with some tools and maybe give you some practical processes to work on so that you can learn and see that the principles that we espouse are indeed correct and do indeed work every time. So just before I get into how exactly to do this and why it works, again, I just want to make clear the goal of this video is not to prevent the counties from raising much needed funds, which is why they put up these cameras. The goal is not to help many people save $50 here or $75 here that they no longer have to pay for these red light camera tickets. That's not the goal. The goal isn't to prevent people from getting points on their license and their insurance going up, because again, these tickets, there's no points that are added to people's licenses. So what's the purpose? Why am I creating this video? Do I really care about people saving $50 on these camera tickets? I mean, it's chump change. Okay? On our website, understandcontractlaw.com, we do a lot of interesting things. If you click on the services offered tab, you will see a whole bunch of different stuff. We can stop foreclosures. We can get your mortgage balances cut by 50%, even if you're current on your mortgage, okay? And even if you've done a mortgage modification before. We have an affiliate program. We have a common law trust setup process. We have a process where you can claim abandoned homes for free and get a house for free. We can help you to eradicate credit card debt, make debt collectors go away, clean up your credit, clean up your entire credit report, okay? Anybody coming after you, suing you, summonses, judgments we can reverse. There's a lot of different things that we can do. Criminal charges we can dismiss and discharge. So why spend the time on something as minor as traffic tickets? Well, you know, there's a lot of people searching on the internet, and there's a lot of people that get, if you drive or if you travel with a state license plate, you're going to get these things mailed to you from time to time because they're going up everywhere. So hopefully this will grab some people's attention, and maybe you'll get on our email list, and maybe you'll check out the other sections on our website, or maybe you'll explore some of this other information elsewhere on the internet. And over the course of time, by being exposed to this, you may see all the other remedies that exist out there to help your community, to help your family, to help people that are in need. And the ultimate goal is to discharge paradigms of the past, that I have to pay this. It's not a matter of necessarily saving you the $50, or if it's more money, you know, saving you the $300,000 that you no longer have to pay on your mortgage, or whatever the debt is that you're talking about, credit card, be it a student loan. The goal is to discharge the paradigm way of thinking where you think you have to pay it. That's more valuable than saving the money. is by me getting you, or guiding you along the new paradigm, so that the old paradigm of, oh, I got this notice in the mail, I have to pay this. That's what brings me the satisfaction, is changing your way of thinking, because that is going to open your mind up, and you're going to be open-minded to virtually any other new ideas. It's going to be the tipping point. It could be the tipping point, I believe. So the goal is to discharge the old paradigm way of thinking and to accelerate your learning and the empowerment of other fellow Humanites, such as yourself. So hopefully a video like this, where everybody's looking and getting hit with these camera tickets, has the potential to go viral. Who knows? But please consider sharing this information. Okay, so here is your notice of liability red light camera violation. And it tells you a bunch of different things. It tells you the mailing date of the citation, the amount due. If you don't pay it, it's going to go up $25. Actually, that's on the back, which I don't have up on here. Where the violation was taken. It's got your straw man's name and address here, which I blanked out because this video could go all over the place. I'm not going to keep this on it with my address and such on there. And so I also blanked out my car and the license plate and so on and so forth for privacy reasons. So you're going to get a notice like this sent in the mail that probably looks familiar to most of you who operate or travel in a car or a motor vehicle, whatever way you want to look at it. Okay, and then you also are looking at this secondary page. Red light camera files. Here you go, page 2, which looks something like this. It tells you a video of the violation is available at such and such, a picture shown above, blah blah blah. If you have any questions about this notice, call. Failure to pay or adjudicate this violation will result in further collection activity. Now, why are they telling you that? Because they always tell you what they're going to do. Everybody always gets a chance to cure their fault. No points will be assessed in the violation. Blah, 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 blah. Send payment. You must respond with either a payment or a hearing request before the due date. Okay, so they're telling you you must respond blah, 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 blah. Well, who are they, the authority, to tell you that you must respond? You might be thinking, well, if you understand contract law, you'll understand that this is just an offer. They're not God telling you you must respond. They're just giving you an offer. Okay, so for you to understand, what you could do is go to our website and click on Intro to Contracts, and then click on the Conditional Acceptance tab. And you'll see a My Cousin Vinny video here. Oh, the video's been removed from the user, by the user. We'll re-put up another one if we can find it. So here's the transcript, and this basically just explains that a conditional acceptance is a counteroffer which has the legal effect of rejecting the offeree's offer. It's in Black's Law Dictionary. And there you go, the famous scene in My Cousin Vinny that'll help. If you're new to this, you understand what a counteroffer or conditional acceptance is. Please read this post so that the following instructions will make sense to you. Oh my God, I'm already 9 minutes and 20 seconds into this video. So let's jump right in. How would one respond to one of those red light camera tickets? Well, you know, I really can't jump right in because I'm trying to learn. I'm trying to get you to be learned. So let me go back and try to. This is another blog post that we created from October 17th, the 10 Commandments of Commercial Law. Okay, and if you click read the rest, you'll see all 10 of them. Now I want to point out commandment number 2B, everything in court is contract. Contracts are dynamic or fluid and change. Okay, so that'll make sense later. And one must respond to every offer and be in honor. Every communication, public and private, must be answered timely. Responses to public communication must be in a conditional acceptance. Response to private communication, okay, you don't need to know that right now. Dishonor is non-timely response, argument, or standing moot. So you guys know that if you don't respond to this letter, you're going to be in dishonor, and there's going to be another, almost like a contempt, where they add on an additional fee. Never argue the facts or jurisdiction of the law. Again, I don't have the time to go into this. Let's try to keep this video somewhat short, and let's just go into how we're going to respond to this. And then what I'll do is I'll either put this template up right on the website when you go to understandcontractlawandyowin.com and you click on traffic, beating traffic light camera tickets. I'll either put it on there for download for a limited time, so if you jump over to the site you can download that, or if it's not there, what I will do is everybody who joins our announcement list will get an automated generated response where they'll get the template that they can use to get rid of the red light camera tickets. I haven't decided yet, but I'll do one of those two. So join the announcement list to ensure that you get this template. Okay. I'm just going to read it. If you're brand new to this stuff, this may not make sense to you, and that's another reason why you should join our announcement and email list, so you can learn about this stuff and keep in touch with our blog posts and learn about contract law. And you should get that Brian Blum book on contracts, and you can read some of the highlights on our blog post about excerpts from Brian Blum's textbook about contracts. So check that out, and you can buy the books right on the site. Okay. Constructive notice of conditional acceptance. You're going to put your name here, care of the notary, and you can go to notarypresentment.com and you can email and contact one of the notaries that are willing to do what are called notary presentment processes. Okay? They're not notarizing your signature. And this is where you got to pay attention to details. When I say notary presentment, if you've never heard that before, you have to say, what's a notary presentment? And you need to Google it and look it up and find out what it is. You don't just automatically assume it's a notary. I need to have my signature notarized, because that's not what it is. Okay? So notary presentment is when a notary serves your party. So we're going to have all our mail sent with our commercial processes done through a notary for the most part. Sometimes there's exceptions if there's a rush or if it's not too important. Maybe you don't want to do it through a notary, but I'm trying to get you into the habit of always, because most of the people that are coming across this video have never done these things before. So I'm trying to teach you to do it the right way. You're almost always going to have your mail, you're going to write, John Smith, for example, care of, Natalie Jones, comma, Notary Public, 182 Main Street, whatever town, whatever state, whatever zip, okay? If you're sending it through a notary, you can send it certified mail. If you're sending it not from a notary, if you are sending it directly from you, then you should send it registered mail or certificate of mailing, okay? So right now we're going to send it, let's say certified mail. We're going to go across the room to our little post office desk, and we're going to pull out, and we may write down the certified mail number. We might write return receipt attached. And you're going to nunc pro tunc this to 3 days within 3 days of the date that the letter came. And if you don't know what nunc-pro-tunc is, you can Google it and look it up. That's not the purpose of this video. But you're going to predate the letter, nunc-pro-tunc. Then you're going to send it to whoever is sending you the notice, Suffolk County Red Light Safety Program. To whom it may concern, I have received your letter dated on or about so-and-so. Well, it was actually dated on August 9th, so we're going to take out the about. I received your letter dated August 9th, to which I am returning and enclosing to you notice of liability red light camera violation, and to which I am conditionally accepting all the offers in the letter, including but not limited to a, quote, notice of liability and a conviction of any traffic violation, upon proof of claim that you provide proof of your claim in the form of a ticket, affidavit, or citation signed by an officer of the Suffolk County Police Department or any other law enforcement highway officer whose duty it is to enforce traffic laws in the state of New York. You have 10 days from receipt of this conditional acceptance to respond on a point-by-point basis via sworn affidavit under your full commercial liability, signed under penalty of perjury, that the facts contained therein are true, correct, complete, and not misleading. Mere declarations are an insufficient response. If an extension of time is needed to properly answer, please request it in writing. Failure to respond will be deemed agreement with the facts stated in the attached affidavit and an inability to prove your claim. This letter constitutes constructive notice to the recipient. Sincerely, you would sign and you would write your name, John Smith, whatever your name is. Please direct all responses to third-party public witness. Boom. Enclosures, constructive notice of conditional acceptance dated. What day did we date this? Affidavit of a specific negative variant would be dated, we don't know yet because that's on the next page. Original notice of liability, red light camera violation in its original envelope, which we're sending back to them. So if you keep it, you are accepting the liability. You need to send these letters back. I had helped a individual who was put into a was arrested and put into a facility, and she was in there for about 10 days or so, and the day that she gave back the rule book, when you go into a jail they give you a rule book. These are the rules of the jail or the prison or whatever. And when you go to a hospital or some sort of medical facility, they also give you a patient's bill of rights. Well, this individual wound up not knowing why, because she had not voluntarily decided to get arrested and not known why she was still, although she was demanding to be let go, why they weren't letting her go. And within hours of returning the rule book, they started the discharge or release process. So when you become the holder in due course, look that up. If you don't know what that means, look it up in UCC, Uniform Commercial Code. But if you express any ownership rights, that you got a contract there, baby. So you can't take any benefits or privileges from the institution if you don't want to be there. Your words say something, but your conduct and your actions say something else. You got to be 100% congruent with what you're going to do. And again, read about Brian Blum about intent. This is just going to so make it make sense to you. Okay? In determining whether or not a person agreed to a contract or specific contractual terms, the person's manifested conduct by words or action is given more weight than her testimony about her actual intentions. An emphasis on the objective appearance of assent is important not only because of evidentiary considerations, that is, it is easier to prove because it is observable, but also because one of the fundamental values of contract law is that a person should be held accountable for words or acts reasonably manifesting intent to contract, and that the other party acting reasonably should be entitled to rely on the manifestation of assent. So, even if you disagree that you owe a debt, if you hold on to that original envelope and that original letter, you're accepting it by your conduct. So if you're going to, quote, refuse it in a conditional acceptance manner, or reoffer or recontract with them and put the ball back in their court, you got to put the ball back in their court. You got to put the original notice back in its original envelope and mail it back to them. And that goes with anything that you deal with here, okay? Then you may want to put the unsigned copy of the certificate of service. Okay, I'm going to skip this for now because I'm going to run through, but you're going to put the date there. Excuse me. Next page, affidavit of specific negative averment. The undersigned affiant, let's say your name is John Smith, hereinafter affiant does solemnly swear, declare, and state as follows. Affiant is competent to state the matters set forth herein. Affiant has knowledge of the facts stated herein. All the facts herein are true, correct, and complete, admissible as evidence, and if called upon as witness, affiant will testify to their veracity. Plain statement of facts. Affiant sees no such evidence of any ticket, affidavit, or citation signed by an officer of the Suffolk County Police Department or any other law enforcement highway officer whose duty it is to enforce traffic laws in the state of New York, and affiant believes that no such evidence exists. Affiant sees no verifiable sworn evidence that affiant has committed any traffic violation in the state of New York or any other amount as so claimed by the notice, and affiant believes that no such evidence exists. In witness hereof, I hereunto set my hand on this seal on this blank day of blank 2012, and hereby certify the statements made above are true, correct, and complete. And you would sign that after showing some form of ID or something to a notary who would witness your signature and your dating of this. And on this, you would put the actual date. You wouldn't put the nunc pro tunc date. You would put the actual date that it actually is in real time. Okay, so you've done that. You've got your notary certificate of service. It is hereby certified the date below, the undersigned notary public mailed to. Again, listing everything. We're not going to running out of time here. That's correctly how you would do it through the notary. If you want to try this without sending it through a notary, I guess you could do it and you would leave this last page off, or you can have a friend. You would take off the word notary and you might want to write just certificate of service, and you can have a third party friend of yours mail this for you and sign this. You might want to maybe call it an affidavit of service in that case, but it really is a lot more powerful if you have a notary do these processes. So if it's on anything that you really care about, please go to notarypresentment.com and shop around for a notary that you can do business with. That's about it, folks, other than explaining the meat here. Why is this an appropriate response? Because one of the maxims of law is that you can't prove anything. Remember how we went to the 10 Commandments of commercial law, and I think one of them here is that you can't prove anything. The facts don't count. Facts are on the moon, unimportant, and the only way to prove something in commerce, and everything is commercial, is an unrebutted affidavit. So, although that red light camera ticket may look like you are guilty, you're the one who's convicting yourself by not responding or by paying the bill. Paying the ticket, you're admitting liability. So you can't prove you went through the light, you can't prove you didn't go through the light. The video doesn't prove anything. You know, there's videos showing that JFK was shot and this and that, and, you know, September 11th, the buildings, you know, supposedly there's video showing that we were attacked on September 11th and that the airplanes knocked the buildings down, right? A lot of people will make that conclusion, and they will say, oh, I mean, look, it's on video, it happened. Well, you're the one making that conclusion and that interpretation of that. So if I watch a video apparently showing that many people would agree I went through a red light, that's not necessarily the case. It's a judgment. It's a conclusion. And the only way in commerce to prove something is to put an affidavit in the court, which means send it to the other party, because the other party and you communicating is court. That's another subject. If that's over your head, that's another video. But you put an affidavit into the court by mailing the other party an affidavit through a notary for sure, and they don't rebut it. Contracts last 72 hours. Okay, so you give them 10 days to respond typically. Otherwise, they agree to your affidavit, just like this language that we put in here. Why do we give them 10 days? Because we allow 3 days for the mail to get there, 3 days for the mail to get back, 1 day for a Sunday, there's no mail, and then 3 days, 72 hours for a contract to cure. Okay, so an unrebutted affidavit is truth in commerce. So if they don't show you a signed citation by an officer and you put your affidavit saying that to the contrary you didn't commit, or you see no evidence as to how you committed a traffic violation. Actually, it says applicant sees no verifiable sworn evidence, which is 100% accurate because you don't see any verifiable sworn evidence. All you see is a video. No one is swearing, right? No one's putting their commercial liability on the line, and that is what they need to do in order to convict you, unless you want to convict yourself. So that's what's happening with these red light camera tickets, that people don't understand the maxims of law, and they wind up convicting themselves. They wind up just paying it, or they wind up ignoring it, which further convicts them and puts them into contempt, and then the $50 goes up to $75. So I'm going to end it here at 28 minutes and counting. Please forgive me because I would rather have this be a 5-minute video. Maybe I'll redo it over again, but I probably don't have the time for it. So I'm just going to post it up there, and if you don't have the wherewithal to sit through the whole thing, then so be it. But again, if you go to Understand Contract Law and youwin.com, you can learn about all these principles that we're talking about, and hopefully discharge some old paradigms and accelerate your learning and promote the empowerment of yourself and other fellow Humanites. And you can learn how to not have to pay this frivolous red light camera ticket and a few other things by joining our announcement list on our website. Thanks for watching. Share the video on Facebook, on YouTube, put your comments below, and if you guys get these templates from us and try it out, please let us know if it works for you. Put a comment on YouTube, put a comment on our blog, and let us know. And if for some reason you get a response back, which many of you may, we'll try to coach you on how to respond to those responses if you're not sure how to do that. Okay? So thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.